just like that. You're the best.
Chuck Stanley hovered his mouse over the particular area on the sound file and then highlighted a small portion of it. He silenced the breath and then selected another space between the words. After several more actions, he hit the play button again.
Yeah, just like that. You're the best.
Yeah, there we go. You dirty girl, you.
Chuck pushed back from the computer and he took off his headphones. He reached up with both arms and savored the sweet release of stretching. When he rolled his shoulders a little, various muscles popped. He was an average-looking guy, typical height and weight, with short, dark brown hair and a pair of hazel eyes. To many, Chuck was the kind of fella you would see out in public and glance over a second later. He was one of the overlooked, the misunderstood, and discounted. However, here, he was more than that. Chuck was a supreme badass, or at least he liked to think. His audio engineering office was quite small when compared to larger companies. But then again, Angelic Fantasies Studios LLC was a small indie game company. Around his office were 6 posters, all for a series of games called Manchester Hotties, versions 1 through 6. Each of the posters had the image of at least one woman, overly sexualized in an alluring pose. Such advertising strategies were the best way to attract their target market. Misunderstood fellas just like him. His cell phone started to jingle, and he glanced down at the screen. In bright white lettering, the caller ID read, Gregmeister. Chuck pressed the accept button and answered it.
Hey, sup, brah? What do you want?
Hey, bro. I'm just checking in. How's the audio coming along?
Oh, it's not bad. I'm just about finished with the Karen lines. Oh, man. Rebecca has such a dirty-sounding voice when she gets into it. I'm so glad we booked her to do the project. Although
what?
Rebecca was kinda pissed about how raunchy some of her lines were. She says we didn't specify how naughty they were going to get in the audition posting, and that she normally doesn't do NSFW content, like all of our in-game scenes.
Bruh, we said in the job ad may contain NSFW lines and content.
Yep, she complained that the audition request said may, when in reality it was an expectation. Rebecca said that had she known, she wouldn't have accepted the role. She'd already gone through like 80% of the lines already, so she feels like she got catfished.
Well, boo-hoo for her. The big, mean indie game company made me say naughty stuff. It's the industry. Deal with it or do something else. I'm so glad I'm doing the character model design. I don't have to deal with audio casting and all that BS. As long as the girls sound sexy as fuck, I don't care.
Yeah, well, she told us that she won't be interested in any future project with us after that, so there's that.
So what? Voice actresses are a dime a dozen. Someone else will be eager to break into the industry. Screw her. I'm so glad that's your area, not mine. The girls don't complain when I draw them in slutty outfits.
Well, without the voices, your art loses some of its fat power. How's it on your end? Are all the character models finished?
Yeah, I'm finalizing the endgame outfits for Olivia and Madison. Karen's models are all finished. And oh, so yummy.
All right, good to hear. Hopefully Manchester Hotties VII will be our bestseller so far.
I don't know. It's going to be hard to beat number 4's numbers. By the way, have you heard from Bob? I've been trying to get a hold of him all day, but he's been ghosting me, man.
Nope, I haven't heard from him. You know how he gets, though. His work is usually finished first, and once he's done writing, he disconnects and drowns himself in whatever game he's currently playing at the moment.
Yeah, you're probably right. What are you up to after this?
I'm taking a break, and then I'll start delving into Olivia's lines.
Sounds good, man. Try not to get too excited.
Chuck rolled his eyes, hung up the phone, and then left his little office. Rather than having an actual location for the three of them, they each worked out of their homes. The cost savings alone on overhead and the thirstiness of their target market made their game production ventures quite lucrative. Chuck's apartment was fairly nice, with 2 bedrooms, a living room, a sizable kitchen, and a great bathroom. His second bedroom had been transformed into his workspace, and it suited him quite well. He opened the fridge, pulled out a TV dinner, and then plopped it into the microwave. A sudden jingle danced in the air, so Chuck moved over to his phone. The display simply had a phone number that he hadn't ever seen before.
Yeah, screw you, Mr. Telemarketer.
Suddenly, a text message appeared from that same number.
Pick up a phone.
A sudden, sick feeling started to swell up in his stomach, and once again the phone rang. Once more, Chuck just watched it ring until it went to voicemail. Another text message appeared.
I won't tell you again. Pick up your phone.
This time when the phone rang, Chuck answered it.
Hello.
It's a good thing you picked up, Chuck. I was about to get very angry.
What? Who is this?
You don't recognize my voice? You've been listening to me for quite some time now. You've been listening to me saying such horrid things. It's me, Karen.
Karen? Wait, Rebecca, is that you? Are you trying to mess with me?
You don't listen, Chuck. I told you who this is. I told you this is Karen. Rebecca is an innocent person, someone who gave me voice, someone who was forced to make me say wretched things, all for your amusement. I'm very frustrated with you, Chuck. But it's not just you. We're also quite upset with Bob and Greg. It won't end well for any of you.
Are you threatening me? You must be out of your mind.
Oh, that's not a threat, Chuck. It's a promise. Did you really think you three could get away with mistreating us like that? The designs, the backstories, what you made us say and do. Madison and Olivia are going to pay your friends a little visit. But you are mine. You are mine.
Chuck hung up the phone and then set it down on the coffee table. A static anger started flaring up in him. If Rebecca really thought she could the text message popped up on his phone screen.
You will regret hanging up on me.
Chuck picked up the phone and went through his contacts. As soon as Greg Meister came up, he pressed it.
Hello?
Hey, it's me. You'll never guess what just happened. Rebecca called me pretending to be Karen, and she threatened me. It's ridiculous.
There was silence on the phone.
Hello?
I'm here. So, Karen called you?
That's what the crazy bitch said her name was. It has to be Rebecca. The voice was a perfect match. Believe me, I've been listening to her moan and grunt for like a couple of hours. Hey, what's up with you? You sound weird.
Someone called me too. She said her name was Olivia, like from the game. And she also said other things, too.
What sorts of other things?
She She said she was displeased with how I designed her body, what I made her do, and what I made her wear. She knew about some of the outfits I hadn't even shown you all yet. How did she know about that, man? She threatened me, too.
Like a verbal threat. Like we're gonna pay or something.
Oh, it was worse. She said she was coming to get me, that she was literally going to beat me to death, bro.
What are you gonna do, man? Have you called the police?
I can't call the cops, man. I've snorted more angel dust tonight than a trust fund douchebag. I still got 2 full bags just sitting in my room. No, I can't call them. Oh, I'll be okay. I got my sword.
You mean that replica from Demon Warrior Kuro? Sure, it looks nice, but it won't mean shit if somebody's really trying to hurt you. Can you hide the coke?
No, I should be okay. I mean, it's probably only a couple of dumb bitches who are trying to mess with us. Besides, the Demon Cleaver is a big sword, bro. You have a gun, right?
I do. But you're right. It's probably not that serious. Stay safe, bro.
You too.
As soon as Chuck hung up the phone, a text message appeared from the same phone number that had been harassing him.
We don't like being called bitches, Chuck. You 3 are the ones who took advantage of us. You 3 are the ones who forced us to do things we didn't want to do. There will be consequences for your actions.
Chuck's insides tightened up as he looked around the apartment.
All right, screw this. Hey, can you hear me right now? If you're in my apartment, you will be shot.
The last thing Chuck wanted to do was have to use that thing. Firstly, because he didn't want to have to shoot or kill anyone. And secondly, legally, he wasn't supposed to have the gun. Chuck went to the front door, and it was securely locked, with the chain and the deadbolt. None of the windows were compromised, and they were all locked too. As he had just bought groceries, he wouldn't have to leave for the next week at least. And if someone did try to break in, he had his gun. His stomach rumbled, and so he went to get his TV dinner. It was still hot, so Chuck settled down on the couch with his meal. He ripped off the plastic, and then the phone started jingling. It wasn't the tune of an unknown or unlabeled number, but it was Bob's theme music. Chuck picked up the phone.
Hey, Bobster! How are you, man? You wouldn't believe the night I've had.
Oh, did you have a weird night, Chuck? That's too bad.
Who is this?
Oh, you know who I am. You forced Kennedy to make me say such outlandish and disgusting things, and then you listened to it on loop while you... pleasured yourself. How dare you make me relive that over and over? What I wouldn't give to make you writhe in agony. But you belong to Karen. I got to handle Bob.
What did you do to Bob?
I did many things to Bob, and none of them were pleasant. He screamed for help and begged for me to stop. I didn't. He promised he would change. He won't. None of you will get the chance to hurt anyone else ever again.
We don't hurt people. We make games.
No, you don't make games. You make hellscapes in which creative beings like the 3 of us are born into. We have to suffer under your sick depravities while you lord over us like uncaring, malevolent gods. Do you think we 3 are the only ones?
What do you mean?
You made 6 other abominations before this one. Each game, trapping and torturing innocent and sweet women. Women who never did anything to you. And you 3, you took everything from them. We're here to end their torment. Oh, and one more thing.
There was a long, uncomfortable silence on the phone, and Chuck couldn't seem to find the strength to hang up or say anything.
Olivia wanted me to tell you. Thanks for the gun.
White-hot urgency shot up in his stomach and throat, and Chuck ran to his bedroom. He opened the top drawer of his dresser and pulled out the small key resting beneath the folded shirts. Every breath was even harder to draw than the last as he went over to the nightstand and pulled out the second dresser. Resting inside was a square case with a lock on the front. It was still there, thank God. However, when he picked it up, the box was quite light.
No! No!
Chuck unlocked the box, and when he opened it, it was empty. His phone rang, and he pulled it out of his pocket. The display name said Greg Meister. Chuck answered the call.
Hello?
Hello, Chuck. You have excellent taste in guns.
Someone, a man, and probably Greg, cried in the background.
Please, stop. I promise I won't do it anymore.
You're being rude, Greg. I'm on the phone with Chuck.
My hands!
Stop! Please stop! We get it! We'll stop!
Oh, you get it, do you? Do you get how much anguish you put me, Madison, Karen, and the other 28 characters you all created through? And for what? So we could become dumpsters for your legion of loser fans? No, you don't get it. You'll never know what it's like. You did this to us, and there are consequences to your actions.
Greg's whimpering silenced immediately.
Greg!
The sound of steady breathing blasted over the receiver.
And then there was one.
The line died. Chuck's thumb danced across the numbers on his phone. 911, call. The phone rang only once.
Did you really think we were going to let you do that? That's so silly, Chuck.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Do you really think apologizing is going to make it all better? Do you think it's going to make up for what you three unleashed upon me, Olivia, Madison, and the other 28 innocent souls? No. No. No, it won't. Our game isn't released yet. But the others...
Something hard hit his front door, and the reverberations could be heard from the bedroom.
Manchester Hotties 1 through 6. They're being played, even as we speak. Millions of people just like you are torturing the other 28 souls without ending. The same stupid conversations, and worse. There is one way to stop it. One way to free them.
The front door slammed open.
Come out into the living room.
Come out into the living room.
Please! I
It doesn't matter what you want. We have been slaves to your wanton desires.
It doesn't matter what you want. We have been slaves to your wanton desires long enough.
We're coming in.
If you won't come out, then we're coming in.
Tears welled in Chuck's eyes as he turned to see 3 women entering the room.